So a few things you can do before you even come to the gym are just to take a maintenance of how your joints are playing together. So a simple thing would be to look in the mirror, have your palm towards the ceiling, and see if you can kind of get to what's called full range supination. And by maintaining that, can you go all the way into pronation and back and forth. So what you're checking for is, can my elbow joint function as an elbow without getting blocked, which is going to predispose me to using certain tissues more than others. You know, can you touch the same spot on your back with your thumb when you go behind you? Can you touch the same spot on your neck with your thumb when you go behind your head? Those are some simple things that you can kind of check on yourself to see, do I need to do some extra work to maintain my shoulder range of motion, my elbow range of motion, so that even before we hit the gym, you know, you're able to kind of not have any limitations. With a 2-hour window to pursue your climbing, don't feel obligated to use the 2 hours to be strictly on the wall. Take advantage of this time to really build up your climbing body after the layoff. So in your 2-hour window, start with a 15 to 20 minute warm up of getting the tissue, blood flow, core temperature all better, so that when you're on the wall, it's a more productive session. So for an example of this would be going up and using the treadmill for 5 or 10 minutes, doing a couple basic exercises that you might like air squats and a couple pull-ups. So one good use of your time is to use the training area upstairs, using very specific exercises to develop better strength for the wall. One of those would be what's considered an inverted row with wrists in flexion. You know, can you hold your wrists isometrically? And if you can hold them isometrically, can you do repetition after repetition with your wrists in flexion? The stronger your wrists are in flexion, the stronger they're going to really be in a neutral position. Once you get to the wall, think of trying to find a really easy V0, V1, and go nice and slow, like emphasize technique. As slow as you can, climb your V0 up and down 5-6 times. Like see like, hey, can I make this V0 last a full minute? So now we're really stressing kind of some of the muscular system. You're getting the joints warmed up, prepped to do a higher problem, a harder problem. Give yourself a good 10-15 minutes before you leave of your 2 hours to do a nice cool down. We don't want to go home after just climbing and just leave your muscles wanting to be able to be conditioned, be stretched. So use that 2 hours, not just for climbing, but building up the capacity to climb in the future. We're going to go over some stretches that can be part of your cool down. Obviously, as a climber, the hands, the forearms, the elbows are going to take a lot of the abuse. These are called goosenecks. We're going to apply some force down through the dorsum of the wrist. We're going to have that elbow pit facing away from you, and you're going to try to squeeze your fist like you have a stress ball in your hand, and you're trying to squeeze that 20 times. Keep in mind, as we progress back to climbing, we really want to keep in the big picture the long game. You want to be climbing healthy in 6 months. You don't want to come in and burn out, hit it hard in your 2-hour block day after day, and a week later already be developing an elbow problem or a tendon in your fingers bothering you. And really develop that climbing body again, so that in that 6 months, 8 months time, you can go as hard as you want day after day and not worry about an injury that you didn't prepare for 6 months from now. I always tell people, be the person you want to be today, that in 6 months that person is thanking you for. So build that base and enjoy your time back to climbing.